Welcome back to the channel, friends. Today we're discussing a topic that's probably on many of your minds: how to make a girl actually miss you. Before we dive in, I need to be upfront about something. There's no universal magic formula, no secret button you can press that works in 100% of cases. That doesn't exist. But what does exist are fundamental principles that can help you achieve this. And if we follow the basic recommendations, things become clearer. The most obvious principle is simple. There needs to be a scarcity of your attention. But why am I reminding you of something so obvious? Because I constantly encounter situations where men are overly persistent, showering a woman with attention, and then they're genuinely surprised when she doesn't miss them. She simply doesn't have time to. So let's move on to more practical, specific recommendations. First principle: unpredictability. Let's say you've had 3 dates, maybe 5 or 7, sometimes 10. The question becomes, when will you see each other next? Here's where many men make a critical mistake. A man who's deeply attracted to a woman, and let's focus on that scenario specifically, often can't help himself. He has to know when you'll meet again. Very often, at the end of a date, he asks, "So, when can we see each other again?" Maybe he suggests Saturday, or he gets specific. "Are you free Saturday at 7? This creates absolute predictability. But here's the thing. By simply not specifying a date for the next meeting, you already give her something to wonder about, something to worry about in the best sense of the word. Will he ask me out again? When? Should I reach out first? This uncertainty becomes your too. The next recommendation involves emotions. Many men try to impress by buying flowers or gifts. But here's the critical mistake they make. If you give her lots of positive emotions constantly, you're walking a razor's edge. You're juggling between showing genuine interest and creating emotional dependency, and you're about to drop everything. Think about it strategically. You give her one bright, powerful, emotional moment, something memorable, something that stands out. Then you distance yourself. This is not cruelty. This is balance. When there's constantly excellent communication, constant positivity, constant gifts and attention, she starts to perceive all of it as ordinary, expected, maybe even a sign of neediness rather than strength. Let me give you a practical example. Imagine you decide to send her flowers one day out of the blue. She receives them. She's happy. She thinks she has you on a hook. But then, silence. You don't text as much the next day. You're distant. Now her mind is working overtime. Why did he send flowers? Does he really like me? What's he thinking? This creates space for her imagination. And trust me, women's imaginations are powerful. I once witnessed a situation, actually more than one, where a man was sending flowers almost every week. His girlfriend constantly had fresh flowers at home. You'd think that's romantic, that it would work in his favor. But when they eventually broke up, it didn't hurt her as much as you'd think, because she had become accustomed to it. It was expected. Someone else giving her flowers wouldn't compare, not because they weren't as nice, but because the context was different. The meaning was lost in the routine. So your job isn't to bombard her with constant positivity. Your job is to create emotional variety, emotional unpredictability. And here we arrive at the 2 most common mistakes men make. Mistake number 1, giving only positive emotions. Just being nice, just being mutual, just being accommodating and taking steps toward her. This is the fastest way to become boring, or, if you do manage to start a relationship, to find yourself in a weak position within it. It's obvious. You've shown all your cards, revealed your entire hand, Mistake number 2 is the opposite extreme, giving her almost no emotions at all. Some men read articles online about not being needy, and they interpret it as showing no enthusiasm, no warmth, nothing. Just indifference or coldness. That's equally destructive. Your task is different. Your task is to give her emotional experiences, but they must be varied. And if a conflict arises, and it will, because any relationship involves a struggle for dynamics, for who leads and who follows, you need to be ready for it. Now, can you provoke jealousy? Absolutely. And why wouldn't you? It's natural. Here's how. In casual conversation, you might mention that your ex-girlfriend texted you, maybe wanting to reconcile, but that you're not interested in reconnecting. You say it briefly, almost offhandedly, then switch topics. You don't think she'll let it go. She won't. That evening, she'll be thinking about your ex. When you go home and go to bed early, or conversely, stay online late into the night, she's going to wonder what you're doing. Maybe she'll try to figure out who this girl is. Look through your friends on social media. Search for names if you mention them. She might try to find traces of this relationship, see how many thoughts you've already sparked, how many reasons she's already found to fight for you, to wonder about you. This is the level of detail we're talking about. It's a creative process, really. Every interaction, every piece of communication offers opportunities, but men keep making the same mistakes repeatedly, and they all stem from one false belief. She will love me simply because I'm a good person. No, that's not how it works. Being good doesn't automatically make someone miss you. It doesn't create attraction. It doesn't build mystery. Here's another critical mistake. Intensive digital communication. You see each other 2 or 3 times a week, which is fine, but then you're texting constantly, messaging all day long. Why would you do that? Let her have time to miss you before you meet again. Let there be new things to talk about when you do see each other. If you're connected 24/7, what's there to look forward to? What's the point? During this time you're texting, you could be working on yourself, developing your hobbies, advancing your career, building your own life. That's much more productive. And honestly, it's more attractive too. You can send her a message, sure. You might start a conversation before bed, tell her you had a busy day, share a few thoughts, but then, importantly, you finish the conversation yourself. I'm going to sleep now. Talk tomorrow. She's left in a position where she's thinking about you, waiting for your next message, missing the connection. This is how you create real longing. I want to address particularly those watching this for the first time. Think back to women in your past who were crazy about you, who wanted to be with you no matter what, who pursued you relentlessly, who couldn't help but reach out despite your silence. Think about it. What were you doing differently with them? How did you behave? How did you communicate? You'll realize something important. You weren't trying hard. You were living your life. You weren't available all the time. You were interesting. You were unpredictable. There was an effectiveness to your behavior, even though you weren't consciously employing these tactics. Now contrast that with women you really wanted. How did you behave differently? There's your answer. One final crucial point. Everything we've discussed here applies only to situations where there's mutual interest, where the dynamic is balanced. We're not talking about situations where a woman has already taken a strong position and you've already surrendered to her. If she's already leading, if she's already making all the decisions, and you're reacting, trying to make her miss you, won't solve that. It's not about grand gestures. It's about inverting the power dynamic. That's a long process. It takes weeks, usually months, and frankly, if you've already let her dominate completely, if you're already knocking on a closed door, you're probably wasting your time. What we're really discussing here is the balanced situation. Two people interested in each other, neither completely sure where this is going. That's where these principles work. That's where making her miss you becomes not just possible, but natural. Think about it, reflect on your own behavior, your own patterns, and remember, being a good person is a foundation, but it's not enough. You need to be interesting, unpredictable, strong, and yes, occasionally a little bit mysterious. That's what makes someone truly miss you.